What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be doing the review of the TCL R617. Now, some good news and some bad news here. The bad news is obviously I don't have my particular model. So as it turns out, Amazon ended up overselling the amount of televisions that they actually had on hand, and I ended up getting goose egg. So if you are out there waiting for delivery day, it might actually end up getting pushed further because they ended up overselling and you kind of got screwed. They were quoting me something like several weeks outside of when I initially expected, and at that point in time, I was just disenchanted, canceled the order because I'm not going to wait, having 2-day shipping for something to come weeks down the road because they gave my pre-order away to somebody else. Naturally, that pissed me off, so I'll say that there. But that being said, a buddy of mine did get his in. I was able to test it. I was able to see all of the good things that you guys are asking me. So from a question standpoint, I can answer a lot of the big ones out there for the everyday people. So for starters, is this thing bright? I think that was my number one question when I was going into this. No. This is not a bright television. This is not going to get anywhere close to the Sony X900F. So if you're still looking at the $1,000 Sony X900F and wondering, should I go 65 TCL? Should I go $1,000 Sony X900F? Go with the 900F. Go with something that's 1,000 nits and above, because to be very honest with you, this TV is around 680 nits top, like absolute top. There's not a chance that this goes any further than that. On the 65-inch, I have not tested the 55-inch, but I would imagine it would be about the same thing. The thing is, it's not dim or dull. It does a good job of, obviously these numbers, by the way, when you're talking about nits and everything, it's on a variable rate, so it fluctuates up and down. But across the board, it was about the same as it was last year, to be very honest with you. There was not like a huge improvement in brightness. Now, the black levels. That's where they definitely took it up a notch. I mean, you're talking about, it's not an OLED, right? But the black levels are very, very wonderful. You could see so much detail. You could see, I mean, just the amount of pop that you're getting. It is a little aggressive in some areas and in some scenes, but there's no like over dimming to the point of crushing out detail in your image or anything like that. It just, there's certain, kinds of content that can kind of push it into a little bit of a darker image than you would like to see in some areas. But again, it's not a real big issue, and most people will never even notice it at all. Now, as far as their wide color gamut performance, despite not having the quantum dots, it does deliver a great vibrancy and punch to the image. So if that's what you're looking for as far as wide color goes, yeah, this thing is going to be vibrant and way vibrant than, a 1080p TV if you're upgrading and just trying to get into the 4K thing for the first time. This is definitely going to be a good option for you. Now, I will say this. It is not a replacement for quantum dots. So if you are kind of on the fence about that, well, is, the NBP photon technology basically the same thing as quantum dots? Absolutely not. There's no way it's going to do it. Comparing the two, seeing the two, I'm telling you right now, and when I say tested, I actually had the ability to literally lug my TV over. Okay, it was crazy. Like, I literally put in my Sony X900E, brought it over to my buddy's place, and hooked it up, and side by side, tested everything, looked at everything. Unfortunately, I couldn't record anything because, obviously he's just funny like that. He wants to make his own YouTube videos and things like that. So I'm not obviously going to take his thunder and storm away from him, but still wanted to go ahead and let you guys know. So yeah, no, the color is definitely vibrant. So if you're worried about that, don't be worried. Compared to the 900E does have the stronger saturation, stronger vibrancy, stronger brightness all around. Black level wise, the 900E gets destroyed by the 65-inch variant. I mean, it was pretty pitiful, actually, the amount of just getting beat down that was happening on the 900E. So that's a great thing for a budget TV to be able to say, you're about $1,000 and you've got these crazy deep black levels that, again, I mean, are reserved for really top-end TVs. And I mean top-end TVs. So it's not quite on the level of a Q9FN, so don't go expecting that. Like, I'm not going to lie, I was like, is it going to come close to the Q9FN with the kind of contrast that we're seeing out of it? Close. Not exactly there, but no, it doesn't come close to that, but it definitely does get, like, half of the way there towards, like, the performance of the Q9FN. So that's good. It's a good experience there. Now, user interface. This is where the first like aggravation for me kind of hit its head here. It's the exact same user interface as last year. They didn't put any effort into it, and it sounds small, but it really adds up after a while. So, for those who aren't familiar with the TCL brand and televisions, you have to download the Roku app to access advanced settings like, your noise reduction and your white balance controls on an advanced scale. And for me, it was just like, this is some nonsense. Like, you guys need to stop breaking up the menu interface like this, where only a handful, it's not even like a lot of them, only a handful of these options are available in the app, and the rest is just kind of divvied up through the TV system. I hate that. Put it all in one spot, make it easy for me, and the remote's just supposed to be an extension, not a requirement. Or the phone app is supposed to be an extension, not a requirement. And for me, it's I don't like being required to dive into the app to continue to calibrate. It's a real big hassle, and I can't stand it. So moving on from that, the 3 HDMIs, that again, that's a big problem for anybody that is looking for a wide array of versatility in this device, because it's not going to be there, right? And the same can be said for those looking for component and composite. Not there. So you want a classic game, your PS2, your Xbox original, your Wii, tennis with the family, whatever you're trying to do, that's not going to happen anymore. So again, just another inconvenience for especially a budget TV. You would think that they'd be able to squeeze that in there as big as this TV is, because keep in mind, this is not a small TV. It's very thick. So if you're looking to wall mount this TV, forget about it. It would look so ridiculous on the wall. It's a really thick TV, and the backing is not so flush as to when it sticks out from the wall. It's not like, it's not recessed. It's not just all smooth. It's a pretty big TV, right? I mean, budget buyer, really thick frame. I mean, it's an all metal television around the framing and things like that, and it looks really nice. And the back is plastic and everything, but it's a really nice performing TV for black levels. I think if all you care about is black levels and average brightness, that's who buys this television. As far as motion goes, motion was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't, atrocious or anything like that. It was just okay, right? It was average performance, what you can kind of expect on a budget buyer. And I know that doesn't really tell you a whole lot, so I'll just break it down like this. I mean, for gaming and things like that, input lag was pretty responsive. I still found a little bit of smearing in game mode. I did find that to still be a problem because there's obviously no soap opera effect. But I did actually find that you could, benefit from the new technologies this year and get some soap opera effect in regular content. So that is really nice, but the soap opera effect is not on the level of Sony or Samsung or even LG, believe it or not. So, you're not really running into the fluidity that you're going to be expecting here. The thing is, don't expect top flight performance. TCL's overselling you a little bit on this one. They're telling you that this thing is this great performer, budget buyer, which it is, but, they're trying to target it as like an alternative to high-end TVs, which it's just not. And as harsh as that may sound for those who might have it and love it and feel it's an excellent product and it totally outmatches a lot of the high-end products out there, I'm sorry, but if you're spending a $999, which is what the 65-inch is, you can absolutely get yourself a solid performing top of the line television. And not even top of the line, I mean just like mid-range TVs at the high end even are just going to do a great job. So again, I think that this is something that it has its market, but you have to be very careful. Design wise, again, not a bad looking TV. It looks really cool. When the blue light comes on, it's a nice cool blue. It's not like overbearing, which is good. I think that is a very positive thing to have. The app selection, I mean, I don't like Roku TV. I find that the going in and out of the menu system is kind of still very clunky. The one thing I absolutely do love about the Roku TV interface, though, is that you can customize your HDMI and home menu and all that, and you can go through different little presets, and you can kind of set the color of like your main user interface and things like that. That's really cool. It's another level of customization that the other companies don't have. I think it's cool if TCL could put their unique twist on it. We might actually have something really solid here. What else am I not mentioning that, I mean, because there's so many points, right, that you could try to talk on, but just trying to like think off the top of your head and put all this stuff out there is kind of difficult when it's not always directly in front of you right now. So bear with me if there's anything that I am missing for you guys, but I'm trying to hit the main ones. Gaming on this is fine. HDR gaming, I had no problem. So unlike my OLED C7, there's no HDR cutout for the PlayStation 4, for those that were wondering. There's zero cutout. It runs very smooth. HDR, it looks like it always did. I'm sorry to say it's not impressive. So for those looking, again, for HDR to be on the level of OLED because of the Gamma Pro technology, that did not happen. OLED is still by far the best for HDR. And I'm just going to go out and say that right now, because there are those that are on the fence about this. There's only 2 TVs that I know of right now that do HDR real justice, and that is going to be the Q9FN and an OLED display, because it hits that perfect black, and so when scenes pop those colors out at you, it's pretty crazy. But at the end of the day, whichever one you end up going with, if you can't afford to go to that level or don't want to go to that level, TCL's still offering a pretty nice deal here. You are getting a deep black system with a really, really vibrant picture quality. And again, that's really good with some average level of brightness of a little over 600 nits. I topped out at about 680. So if that's something that is going to be a deal breaker for you, you were expecting 700, 800, well, that's something to consider. But I think overall, this television is going to be appealing for a lot of people, again, at the budget price point. You know what I mean? Like, don't expect a whole lot. So when you go through on the websites and you read these feature sets and they're just trying to rattle off a bunch of things, it's something to keep in mind. Now, one of the things I did find interesting enough, while the Wi-Fi chip in the television picked up the internet connection really well, I found that the upscaling was really slow. So like it would take a while to clean up the image a little bit. So I don't know if that was like just the Wi-Fi connection or whatever the case may be, but I found it on numerous videos and I found that a little odd. So just wanted to point that out for any user that might run into that down the road. Another thing that, again, is just a big gripe for me is, again, it sounds silly, but when you're spending this kind of money, the remote is a big problem. Like, it looks like a Fisher Price toy. I'm so over the purple buttons and the little tiny chibi remote. I mean, it's terrible. And you have people at Best Buy literally paying the markup, trying to buy themselves for 50 bucks the remote that didn't come at Best Buy, you know, through the Amazon variant. Don't buy that remote. It is a child's toy, okay, is what it is. It's hollow, it's cheap plastic, it's garbage, and I can't say enough negative things about the TCL remote. It is the worst remote on the market today. I can't believe they even marketed that to a bunch of adults. It's ridiculous. So just wanted to say that real quick to TCL and anybody else who may be listening that might be a fan of that remote, because my God, what were they thinking? Like, wow, really? Like cheap plastic purple buttons? Like, wow. I don't know if my phone's or if my remote's going to like flash a bunch of lights and try to teach me my alphabet or change the channel. Like, it's pretty crazy. So again, another little nuisance for me there at this price point. Now, again, it's not all bad. They have, I guess, again, like I say, it's a pretty decent spec offering. It's a pretty decent picture quality. HDR was decent. I didn't have any kind of, you know, lip syncing issues with audio, with optical. You know, Buddy's using his ARC 7.1 system. No issues there. Sound really good. Unfortunately, there's just no way to cover everything because there's going to be a lot of questions. So if you guys have them, just make sure that, you know, you stop by the Facebook page, because some of the comments, believe it or not, do end up overlapping and they do get lost on YouTube after, like, because I never like clear my YouTube inbox, I guess. And I've got like literally hundreds of thousands of emails and questions that I could not begin to touch if I tried. I mean, I can try, but there'd be like thousands more every day. Like, there is a lot of traffic here and a lot of viewers that are leaving comments. So even though I don't have a lot of subscribers, look at the lifetime views, and you better believe with that, there are a lot of comments going along with that. So if you guys have serious questions about this product, just ask me on Facebook. I'll do everything I can to try to get this to you. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get this, as I told you, like in for actual, like showing you like various demos. But to be honest, that's a pretty bad way of assessing the picture quality anyway, because it's coming through YouTube. It is giving you a compression So, I know it's unfortunate that you can't see it, but again, the information is what you're looking for. That's what I will be giving you guys. That being said, my name is Quantum Apotheosis, bringing you guys the apotheosis of information. And if you want, my general recommendation, I say pass on this one at the 65-inch until the price goes down to like maybe $899. Then it will be a steal. But for right now, for $1,000, you can definitely get yourself the Sony X900E at the least in the 55-inch variant, and you'd have a much better experience in every way but black levels, because the black levels on this 65-inch variant, I can't tell you enough, are top flight. They really, wow, they look very, very good. So if that's something that you only care about black levels, then you might want to roll over to the TCL for that. But for literally everything else, and I kid you not, everything else, then you probably want to just get the 900E and call it a day, to be honest with you. These 2018 TVs, while they are, exciting and new, they're not really doing a whole lot different from last year. And this is kind of the same thing here. And I kind of already figured out that the brightness wasn't going to be that great when I talked to the TCL rep this year. And it was kind of like, wow, like that's pretty crazy. So I did talk to one of the guys from the manufacturer, and that's pretty much what they said. And then I also had an additional conversation on Amazon with another manufacturer representative. So, I've had it confirmed 2 ways. The brightness is really low, and then seeing it myself, it's not. Please, I can't stress enough. Don't expect like premium brightness. If you do that, you're going to like hate this TV, and it's going to be a very negative experience. But even with that, it's a little better than last year. So, something to rejoice over, I guess. Alright guys, so I won't let this video drag on too long. My name is Quantum Apotheosis, bringing you guys the apotheosis of information. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.